Are you getting ready for the Praxis Health and Physical Education exam? That's exam code 5857. My name is Jamie Jo, and I'm a certified teacher and Praxis coach with Study.com. In this video, we'll walk through 4 sample problems for the reflection and technology subtopic of this exam. This practice will help ensure that you're confident on test day. Ready? Let's jump in. Problem 1, which would be an example of an integrative framework in physical education. The first option, students compete in a swimming competition that requires them to swim freestyle, backstroke, and butterfly for 100 yards each. The second option, students are required to use a pedometer, log how many miles they walk each week, and then chart their weekly miles walked at the end of the term. Third option, students use their understanding of flag football and basketball and make up their own game, combining the skills and rules associated with flag football and basketball. Or the fourth option, students create their own assessments and rubrics for the graded activities in their physical education class. Well, an integrative framework here is referring to an integrative curriculum framework which combines physical education and other subject areas like math, science, social studies, or any other subject. So let's look at the first option here. This one is actually just combining different swimming styles, so those are not different subjects. The second option is combining physical education with math, so the students are having to keep track of numbers and chart them and compare them. The third option is combining 2 different sports, so that's just combining physical education and physical education, not different subjects. And then the fourth option is typically not something a teacher would allow students to do, because if each student is creating their own assessment and how they get graded, then there would not be any consistency in the grades themselves. So that is not the answer either. The only correct option is the second option. Problem 2, which is not an example of a helpful action step of teacher feedback. So the first option, present one important health statistic every week in PE so students can see the application of PE to outside school. The second option, display the goal of the day's PE lesson on a board or screen so that students know what to expect. The third option, rotate the PE activities weekly between fine and gross motor ones so students of both talents can feel successful. Or the fourth option, be a better teacher so students will want to take PE and exercise on their own. Well, when providing teachers with feedback in the PE classroom and really every other subject area, vague feedback like be a better teacher or you are doing great, it's not as helpful as specific feedback in the form of an action step. So action steps are focused and can be applied quickly by the teacher, such as displaying a health statistic or displaying the goal of the day or rotating activities. So the answer is the last one, because that is the one that is not an example of a helpful action step. Problem 3. How can physical education teachers utilize video games to encourage physical activity? Teaching a class on the dangers of video game addiction, encouraging students to play active video games such as Dance Dance Revolution, having students compare exercise time to video game playing time, or having students learn good sportsmanship by playing co-op video games. Let's look back at the first option. This one discourages video game playing, but it does not necessarily encourage physical activity, so that is not the best answer option. The second one, it requires students to play video games and partake in physical activity, so that meets both requirements. There are many active video games these days, and they can be a great way to get students who aren't very active excited about physical activity. So that could be a possible answer choice. The third option, This is just comparing the two, exercise time and video game playing time. It does not necessarily say one is being encouraged or discouraged more than the other, so that is not the best answer choice. And the last one, yes, good sportsmanship should be taught, but this specific example is saying this would be done by playing video games and not necessarily ones that involve physical activity, so that is not the best answer choice either. So the answer is the second option, encouraging students to play active video games such as Dance Dance Revolution. Problem 4. Diane wants to be fit. Her doctor advises her to exercise daily by walking a total distance of 2 miles. How can she keep track of this? The first option, she can use a speedometer. The second option, she can use an odometer. The third option, she can use a pedometer. Or the fourth option, she can use a heart rate monitor. Well, a speedometer is an instrument on a vehicle's dashboard indicating its speed, so that is not going to help her. The second option, she can use an odometer. That is an instrument that measures the distance traveled by a vehicle, so that will not help her. The third option, she can use a pedometer. That is an instrument for estimating the distance traveled on foot by recording the number of steps taken. So yes, that very much could help her. And then the last option, she can use a heart rate monitor. Well, that's exactly like it sounds. It's a device that monitors heart rate, so that is not going to help her keep track of the distance that she is walking on a daily basis. So the option is the third one. She can use a pedometer. I hope this was helpful. If you're looking for more ways to study, then check out our other videos and also make your way over to study.com to check out our Praxis test prep courses. As a study.com member, you'll get full access to hundreds of practice problems like the ones I just walked you through, plus targeted instruction for any topics that you are still struggling with, as well as test strategies to help you maximize your score on test day. Finally, we want to hear from you. Please like and subscribe if today's video was helpful, and then let us know down below in the comments if there are any topics that you would like us to cover next. Good luck and happy studying!